Hello and welcome to episode 101 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
Cassie Gibbons. What's up?
Howdy ho.
You have made the biggest move of your life since the last episode.
Yep. Last episode was in New York, and now I'm, actually, I don't know how many miles exactly away, because it was spread over 2 days, but probably close to 1,000.
You're 1,000 miles
down in South Carolina.
You're a Southern Carolinaran.
Yeah, see, I don't even know what it is. If you're like, is the South
Carolinian?
Carolinian?
Caroliner?
You dang Carolinian?
Doesn't matter.
You can call me Carol.
You're nothing but a dang New Yorker.
812 miles. There you go.
That's pretty hefty.
It might have been a little more because I just clicked Long Island. I know it put it right in the middle. So yeah, probably about 812.
You're not gonna be able to get your South Carolina native plates.
Yeah, I don't know how that. Yeah, I'm not too broken up over that, I guess. But dang it.
Yeah. Well, we are ushering in a new century of Nintendo podcasts.
A new era.
Yep. And I just licked something.
Well, yeah, I was like, you know what?
It was off my
I've
leg,
done
and I was hoping
100
it was
episodes
chocolate.
in New York. It's time to switch it up for season 2.
Yeah, seriously.
What did you change?
My pants.
Nothing. You don't have pants on.
That's true. I don't. I knew you didn't do that. Yeah, I didn't change. Well, let's see. I don't know. I probably changed something.
Hopefully you changed your underwear.
Well, that's for me to know and for you to find out when you come visit.
Boo.
But we're gonna do a shorter episode today. We had about a 4-hour podcast last week, so we had Dr. Johnny Metz on. It was great. It was a lot of fun. We celebrated, and we had a contest, and we're gonna announce the winners at the end of this little podcast. But we're gonna get into what we've been playing, right? I mean, you don't have anything else to say, right?
Well, I did want to mention one thing that I've just been saying for the last couple days now. So, when driving down, when you hit, I think it was North Carolina, I actually tweeted out to Josh about how it seemed like every exit had a barbecue stop. But the funny thing was there'd be like work zones, and like that obviously everywhere you go, like there's construction spots on the highway, right? But the signs, the signs down here, it just goes, let them work, let them live.
Let them work, let them live. That's
to
beautiful.
Like watch your, so I've just been, I've been having a blast, just like, let them work, let them live.
Oh my goodness.
Perry, you gotta let them work.
Yep, and you gotta let them live.
Boom.
That reminds me, I don't know if I've ever told you, I think in Nebraska, for like a very brief moment, the geniuses over at the Health and Safety Bureau, or whatever it is, was trying to think of a slogan to keep your seatbelt on, right? Like,
click
just
it
a slogan
or ticket.
to say. Right. That's the one, right? Now, that came after a year of it's so funny that it's so bad. It's like I can't even say it without laughing. But the one that they had before that was buckle up in your truck.
Somebody got paid to come up with that one, you know?
Can you believe that? I can't believe it.
Buckle up in your truck. And so I was like, yes, that'll get them to buckle it up.
A committee of people. Well, I guess that'll do. I can't think of anything else. It's like, oh my goodness. I remember when that came out, saying those slogans, and I was like, what, like 12? I was like, look at how stupid that is. Anyway, that was so funny.
That's amazing.
Let them live. Or, let's see, what is it?
Let them work.
Let them be.
Let them
live.
live.
Let them work. Let them live. Wonderful.
Perfect. But yes.
Awesome.
Video games.
Video games, yes. We're going to get into... the funny thing is, this last week, I've been playing a ton of games. 2 of which I'm going to talk about next week. But yeah, I played like heavily 5 games this week. Heavily.
Must be nice to have time.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I haven't had time like this forever. It was fantastic. Anyway, along with playing like tons of Fortnite. So I don't know how I did it. It's kind of weird.
Remember, it's so funny that like when Fortnite came out, you were so like, meh, I don't see the appeal, and now you're Mr. Fortnite now.
Yeah. No, I definitely like it. It's not my favorite game in the world, but it's fun to play.
It's because your boyfriend's playing it, and you like to play with your boyfriend.
Yeah, but it's but it's fun because it's so accessible for Well, Jill can play too, on her Switch. So it's fun to play. Leave me alone, okay? Yeah. So I like Fortnite, okay? So I bought a battle pass. What are you gonna do?
Oh no! Did you really?
Yeah, I bought one.
Oh, boo! What a turd!
No, I bought it because I wanted to support him because it's a good game.
Because you're a big Jimmy. Did you file the name change papers to Jimmy yet?
No, but I shouldn't I?
No, I'm kidding. I think the battle pass is pretty cool, and like you said, the game's good enough that you don't feel bad spending $10.
What's cool is that like you only have to spend it once because then you'll get all your points back that you can pay for the next battle pass. So. Pretty cool,
Yeah.
It's not something unless you. But man, I cannot believe that people buy. There's skins on there that are like the equivalent of $15 or $20.
Yeah, they're really, but those are like exclusive, right? They don't come in the battle pass. It's sort of like
right.
Like if you want it, come get it.
No, exactly. Yeah. It costs points, so crazy, right? Isn't that insane? People spend that much money.
You know what though? But again, it's if maybe they don't buy the battle pass and they go, one time $15 cosmetic they really want, But I know what you mean. It is.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Obviously, people are buying them if they keep rolling them out.
Good for Epic Games. That's what I gotta say. But let's get into the new games, and one of them is our pick of PAX, I believe. I would say.
Yeah, it was that and Fox and Forests were the top 2. But what game is that, Perry?
This is The Messenger.
I was like, of course this game would come out in the middle of the move, I was so excited for it, and now it's like, ugh. I'm going to still play it.
I know. That's how I feel about like Bad North and that Castlevania game, the Bloodstained game that came out. Like, it's like I'm so interested in that. But I will play. I'll get to it. But anyway, The Messenger. Yes, this game. Wow, very cool.
And that's
this is the Ninja. Yeah, this is the Ninja Gaiden-esque. Very, very reminiscent of Shovel Knight, of that concept of NES game, Neo NES. So different new colors, stuff that could never be done on NES, but taken into the modern world. Fantastic. I started today, and I played probably about 3 hours of it. So,
it hooked you right away.
It did hook me. I kind of had some issues with it at the beginning. I was like, with the level design, I was kind of like, this seems kind of amateurish at the very beginning. The level design and this kind of like the enemy placement was kind of cheap, but like it was really hard to not get hit and take out the enemies. But like you can afford to get hit, but it's like that doesn't feel right, Like you shouldn't have to get hit to take out an enemy. But it was because I wasn't utilizing some of the moves like ducking.
You were noobing.
Yeah, totally. And afterwards, it gets to be really fast. And it's funny because I've been playing. And the other thing I'll talk about next is Dead Cells, which I probably should have talked about first. But anyway, it's funny playing these two together because they're both side-scrolling and very fast-paced. But yeah, The Messenger. It's I used to play Ninja Gaiden, the first level of Ninja Gaiden when I was little.
Of course.
That game is so freaking hard. But like playing through it. I don't exactly know how much it's like Ninja Gaiden. Like I can't remember too much, but you run like it. You have a horizontal slash, and then you can jump and stick onto walls, and you get some really cool. I mean, it starts off just level based, and it's just like Shovel Knight. I mean, it's very it's very similar to Shovel Knight. I mean, there's screens where you could swap out Shovel Knight for the messenger, and you'd think it, so you're going through levels, and there's a boss at the end of each level, and that's it, And it's all on the way. There's checkpoints, and you can. There's some of them are just checkpoints. Some of them are like a portal to a shop. So they're a checkpoint, but they're also a portal to the main shop with the shopkeeper, which is
your
hilarious.
Homeboy, yeah.
Something I'm very happy with. The writing in this game is genuinely great and very funny, actually. And like really, really, really funny. There's this part with the shopkeeper. I'm not going to spoil it because it's too amazing, and I think it's something that you could miss. But I just ran into it with him, and it's so good and so funny. And
you have the option to like hear a story, right? Like that's what you're sort of talking about.
Not really. That you can talk to him, hear a story. This is something different. I don't want to spoil it at all.
Gotcha.
I just want to say that it's a really fun thing that happened, and it's so good. If you want to hear about it, I'll tell you after the podcast. But and then also the other funny part is your little flying goblin thing.
Your companion?
Quibble, I think is his name, or something like that. Quarble? Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, and this is the fun way that they do health regeneration. So it's like when you die, he stops time and rewinds it back to the last checkpoint for you. And it's funny because he's explaining this to you. He's like, oh, yeah, and so every time you die, I'm going to bring you back, but I'm going to charge you something. Like, I'm going to charge you this amount. And then, like, your character kind of looks at him like, huh? And then he's like, or I could just let you die, like, if you want, like,
yeah, if that's,
like, yeah.
You can take the alternative if you want.
Yeah. And so the way it works is really cool. So you don't actually lose anything you gain. He just stays with you, and as you're collecting stuff, he has to collect enough, like whatever, 20 or 15 of the shards that's the currency before he leaves. So anything you have doesn't ever get lost. So you could die, if you have 400 of these shards or whatever.
You won't be penalized.
400 coins, you won't ever get penalized. It'll just be, if you continue, he's going to take some. And
future
I don't
penalty.
think it stacks. It doesn't stack either. It's not like if you die and then... Like, you know what I mean?
It's like student loans. I'm in the hole.
Yeah, it's not like that. But so he'll follow you, and then once he gets paid off, he'll leave, and then if you die, he comes back. But there's some really funny, and there's some funny dialogue with him too, like stuff that's made me laugh out loud at parts and sections. The cutscenes are really good, and like the enemies are really, really funny. Something caught me off guard. Just how the personality in them, like when you defeat the enemies, is really good and really funny, and they do some really good screenplay like work, and it's great. I was totally surprised by it. Like I said, I was kind of starting it, and I was kind of the level design just really seemed not like super elegant, but it grew into okay, I get kind of what's going on here. And I still think it's not the best level design, but it's good stuff. But the unlockables that you get are awesome. And I'm just going to go... I'll just try to keep this to like the next 30 seconds. So if people... Should I talk about them? I mean... Probably not. I won't.
Yeah. Well,
I won't because the game's not out yet.
It's a weird game to sort of talk about because I feel like... I mean, when I sat down with him at PAX, like, they pretty much spoil, like, a very big component.
And I'm glad, so here's where I'm at, Casey. I am so glad that I haven't, because it's like, I saw this game, and I'm like, okay, I know that I'm getting this game, and I know that I'm very interested in this game. So there's no point in me watching anything about it, because that's just going to spoil stuff, and it's just going to take any surprises out. It's like, I don't want to know what's in the game. Like, I really don't. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not going to say anything. I will say that, though, you get really fun upgrades that completely change how you play, give you more options, and they're really, really, really fun. So, like you said, at PAX, I don't think it was a good idea for them to show off everything. Or I don't know.
But maybe I feel like, you know what it is? I feel like that's the big hook. So it's like you need to see that for it to really be like, wow. But like, it's also would be so much better to organically come across it. But it is such a huge selling point of the game. So it's sort of, it's like a catch-22, you know? It's like, it's
exactly.
tough.
Exactly. So, and the funny thing is, you know, I've played like 3.5 hours, you know, around there, maybe even more, of this game. And I haven't even, like, apparently it goes from a level-based game to like an 8-bit level-based game to a 16-bit Metroidvania game that it hasn't even talked about, it hasn't even done anything. It's crazy. Like, I don't get it. I haven't seen any part of that at all. So it's kind of like there's two games in one, you know? Like, I feel like what I've played today, I feel like could have been a very awesome, really cool indie game that I really enjoyed, you know? And I haven't even, like, unlocked half of it, like, even with the idea. So, pretty cool. I mean, I'm definitely going to play through the whole thing, and I'll talk about it more next week. I don't know when it releases, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it right now. I think you can talk about it.
I mean, I guess you could always... No, I'm pretty sure...
I think we can talk about it. We just can't mention some of the...
It comes out August 30th, which is next Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, if you might be hearing this on episode 102.
Right.
We'll have to check that, but whatever.
No, we're good. We're good. I just checked that. We're good. So, looks awesome. So, this is definitely a game to keep on your radar, everyone. It's fantastic. It's very clean, very crisp, looks amazing in handheld mode as well as on the TV. So, that's The Messenger. So, now...
You want to hear about a game that looks awesome?
So, this is a game that we were kind of intrigued by with Jules, right? On episode 99?
Yes, sir.
He was taken by it. I don't know if he picked it up.
Well, it's funny, actually. The two games I'll be talking about are both games we were interested about on episode 99.
That you're reviewing?
Yep. But yeah, I've reviewed them both, actually, yes. I was trying to get some reviews in before the move, so... To not completely just disappear. But,
right.
Yeah, the first game we're going to be talking about here is Super Blackjack 2 Turbo Edition, The Card Warriors. That's a mouthful right there.
That's amazing.
Yes, so if you could not have guessed by the title of this game, it is... Blackjack game, but it is trying to sort of capture the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition, I guess, sort of feel and vibe. So, you know, when I hear that title, I'm thinking, ooh, okay, maybe they're taking Blackjack, you know, obviously a pretty traditional and standard game that I'm pretty sure everyone has a good idea. If you don't know the exact rules, you've heard of it, you know, it's been around forever. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're taking that base game and sort of flipping it on its head with some sort of, cool or different, feature or some sort of mechanic that sort of, spices it up a little bit. But no, this is a blackjack game. Now, I guess what would sort of attribute it similarly to a Street Fighter game is that when you play it, there's like the single player campaign mode for, I forget the exact wording of that actual mode, but it is, it sort of visually looks like Street Fighter, where it's like, oh, you pick your character, and it's like, oh, you're going across the world facing these different characters in different casinos, and, and playing blackjack, and when you get in there, it's a round of 10, so it's like, round 1, battle, and it's like, okay, we play a hand, and it's just like, you just play 10 hands of blackjack, and you need to either have more money or more chips than the other player after 10 rounds, or if they lose all of their chips before the 10 rounds is up, then you win. Conversely, if you lose all your chips before the 10th round, or you have less chips than they do, then you lose. And
yeah, that makes sense.
There's no real punishment, so even if you lose, you just restart it. But it's blackjack, so like that's the only real bit of Street Fighter in it, if you even really want to call it that. But yeah, it's blackjack. It works as you would imagine. You get dealt 2 cards. Everyone gets dealt 2 cards. Now, how it works is you're not actually like playing the other person. So it's not like if you have 19 and they have 18, because for those who don't know, the goal of blackjack is to get as close to 21 or 21 without going over it. So obviously 21, if you get is blackjack. So you want to get as close to 21 as possible. Blackjack, let him work, let him live. So, if you have 20 and the other player has 19, you can both still win because you're playing the dealer. Because that's just how blackjack works. So,
right.
So it's like you're playing each other, but like by playing the dealer. So you just go through the rounds, and it works well with like the betting and the hitting and sticking and all that stuff. Like it's pretty clear how it works with the controls, and that's pretty much it. In the single player mode, in between, like after you defeat an enemy or the other player, there's some story bits or dialogue between the two, and then like when you beat, when you conclude the campaign, like there's a little bit of dialogue and stuff, but it's really not that funny or entertaining, and it's like most of the time it's like, okay, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, okay.
Right.
And like, like some failed attempts at humor. For instance, I was playing as the one character, I believe his name was Greg, yep. And like after he beats I think she's the Austrian woman, he goes, "I never lose to a woman. I correct myself. I never lose." And it's just like, okay. Like, I mean,
what
like,
does that mean?
Like, I don't know. I guess it's trying to be somewhat funny. Like, oh, like, I don't know. Like I said,
like,
oh, I'm trying to be politically correct. I don't know. It's like I said, it's like I think it's trying to be funny, and like, it's just not. And I'm sure that might upset some people. Like I wasn't upset about it. But it was just like, okay, like this game is trying to pull like
you were upset,
some humor. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, whatever.
This game's trying to be funny.
Yeah, but it failed. But yeah, it's like
correction. It failed.
Now you'll also have some poor AI. Like the enemy player sometimes does asinine moves. For instance, like there was a time when he was dealt 11. So like that's perfect because obviously there are more face cards which are worth 10. And then you also have the 10. So it's like, if you have 11, there's a good chance you're going to get 21. You know what I mean? Like, because,
yep.
Like, oh, okay. And he just didn't hit. He stayed at 11.
Yep.
And then he lost. And it's like, ugh. Like,
there's nothing you can lose.
What's up?
Right? Like, there's no way you can lose if you go again.
Yeah, because, like,
right?
If you hit, the worst case would be, or maybe not the worst case, you get an ace. Which would, and then it's like, oh, well, that's just 1, and then you're at 12, which is, obviously not a great hand.
Which is closer than 11.
But yeah, there's literally no reason why you would not hit there.
Yeah, so that is bad AI.
Yeah, so, and like, that wasn't the norm of, like, being that bad, But, like, there were definitely times when you're just like, what are they, like, why, Like,
yeah.
Like, I guess.
And that just takes you out of it, Like, that takes you out of the competition, I think, when the AI is bad and you're playing against the computer, it feels like, okay, so there's no real challenge here because they're not.
Yeah, it's just they're just making dumb moves, and like it just felt like, oh, like maybe all right, I'm forfeiting this hand. You know what I mean? Like take it, but yeah. So it's like the gameplay is paper thin because it's blackjack, which it's like blackjack's fun when there's something on the line. So. When there's not really much on the line here, and then like you got poor AI thrown into the mix, it's just like, ugh. And
they should make a gambling app that you can bet my Nintendo points.
Can you imagine? I push all my gold coins into the middle.
That would be really funny.
Now, I will give the game a lot of credit in its presentation, because there are, like, each player or, like, each area you go to has a unique visual look and soundtrack to it. So each table has, like, a cool, like, background, and the music is just incredible. That's my favorite part of this game is the music. I don't know if they have the soundtrack on YouTube, but I would recommend checking that out. But
is it like is it a chiptune? Like,
what's up?
Is it a chiptune soundtrack, or is it
it's
like
yeah,
real instruments?
Yeah, no, it's not like a sexy saxophone playing. But could you imagine? But no, it's
that's what I was imagining.
So it's like you got like the nice, pixel graphics. Like it feels like a Super Nintendo game. So it looks nice. Like I said, it sounds awesome. But the game's just not really that much fun. There is local multiplayer, no online multiplayer, so that's sort of a bummer.
Okay, so you could potentially, I guess, why would you just play a game of Blackjack?
I mean, like, I guess. But the thing is, even if you had a couple friends, like, I could be like, oh, like, let's do one round, and then, like, by the end of that, you'd probably be like, all right, like, let's play something else.
That's enough.
But yeah, I mean,
so
it's
pretty much a miss.
Yeah, it's Blackjack, like I said, like, it works. Like, it plays, the betting is easy to do. The music, like I said, is amazing, but it's a pretty forgettable experience.
Gotcha. Well, that's okay, because the next game that I'm going to talk about is the opposite of a forgettable experience.
Does that make it a memorable experience?
That's right, and that would be Dead Cells. Goodness. I heard your take last week, and I believe I quote, Justin gave it a 10. I don't know if the hype is really hitting it like you said. I don't think it's it's as good as everyone says. I could not disagree with you more.
Well,
I was what?
Well, I should say I do really like it. I just don't know if it was that hype worthy. You made it I didn't like it at all right there. I just want to put that on the record.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so here, let me.
I do enjoy the game. No, there's no doubt about that.
I can understand how someone wouldn't like it. So let me just. I get what you're saying. What I'm trying to say is I absolutely love this game. Like, one of my favorite games on Switch, and I'm throwing it down right now. It's incredible.
So it's up there for your game of the year. It's in the combo.
It's in the convo, yes. So, Dead Cells, like you explained, everyone should know what this is, but it's a roguelite. So it's like a rogue-like game, but you're kind of constantly progressing and unlocking new stuff to use, while also getting better. It has this super smooth gameplay where you're going through. It plays like a Metroid game in that sense, in a
exploration,
randomly generated. Well, not really exploration. I mean, kind of exploration. I mean, you know what I mean. You're kind of just going through levels.
Yeah, but they're like really corridors to sort of jump down and check out.
Yeah, but it's so fast. I mean, it's not like you're really like exploration. The exploring is completely is basically mandatory. So like, it's not like you can really go off in it. I don't know. I just mean, yeah, it's exploration, but I kind of think of that as like taking it at your own pace. But really, the game encourages you to go as fast as you can, because there's these timed doors that if you can get to them fast enough, then there'll be tons of really good treasure in those doors. Anyway, so yes, I got this game. I got it physical. It came in the mail. Even though I had a ton of I have a huge backlog of games. For some reason, I was like, okay, this is a roguelike. I can play it, I feel like this is a game I can, it's not a huge commitment, like, of time to really experience what the game is, okay? I was thinking I could probably get what this game is within a couple hours. So I put it in, and I could not stop playing this game. It just hooked me like some sort of drug. It was insane.
You junkie?
I gotta sit there. Oh yes, yes, and like I played it for I probably played it for, dude, I'm serious. I probably played it for like 6 hours, like one day, and the next day like 8 hours, which is insane. I was just like constantly. It was so much fun because the 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 hook of the game, where when you're done, you cannot wait to start again, to keep going because it's just so much fun. The game is so fun. And it's so satisfying when you can stack these weapons that you get against each other, and you just become this unstoppable force. Like I remember multiple times saying to Jill, who was watching me, she was having fun watching. Just, Jill, I am unstoppable.
I'm the man.
Just, yeah, no, I just said that to her. Just I like nothing is gonna get me, you know. And like what happens when it does, like when that does happen, it's like some freak accident where these little stupid bats that they just, you can get ganged up on and just like boom, and you don't have a chance to drink your potion, and then you're just dead.
Well, that was like the first time I got into the village area. I was like, oh, baby, I'm rocking and I'm rolling and I feel unstoppable. And then I made one wrong jump and it was like, dead. And I was like, what happened?
Yep. I know. But on the same time, it feels fair. It doesn't feel unfair.
No.
Like,
It wasn't cheap. It was just, I took the jump too lightly. You know what I mean? Like, I'd let my guard down for a moment and I had to pay.
Yes. But the thing, like, okay, so the way it is you have you can basically have two slots for whatever, but usually it's a short range weapon like a sword, and then like a long range weapon like a bow, that you can use. Some of them are you have unlimited ammo for bows, but then there's like freeze mist that you can throw out and freeze enemies. Mm-hmm. There's also bow and arrows that can freeze enemies, but my favorite is the freeze because. You can just stop anyone in their tracks.
Oh, and then you feel so strong.
Oh my goodness! So you get like, I love the bleeding sword, whatever it's called, blood sword or whatever. That when you slash someone, it makes them bleed, so they just constantly just die. So you hit them. I mean, it's just like you're just dropping down, and then of course you can slam down and hit people, right? And then you just and they're stunned or whatever. Or usually, like if you're you can kill them just by slamming down on them if you're at high enough. But then you reach down, you freeze them, and then you just hit them with a sword, and it's just like they didn't have a chance. Like I was feeling bad for these enemies.
Yeah.
This poor zombie guy just walking around minding his own business. Yeah, it was just like he didn't even see me coming.
Let him work, let him live, man.
Let him work, let him live. Yeah, no, exactly. Well, the thing is if they attack me, so you just gotta take them out.
I know when I first started, I was really into the bow, so I was like, okay, and I like getting that double bow where it, shoots the double arrows, and I'm like, okay, and then that's when I was like, I got quote unquote stuck with like the ice, and I was like, I want a bow, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is devastating.
Oh my goodness. Yes, and then you can keep upgrading your equipment and choosing which stuff to upgrade. And eventually, if you get legendary weapons, then those automatically have your highest rating for whatever. So there's three different. There's red weapons, there's purple weapons, and then there is green weapons. And red is basically your blunt force stuff. Purple is like your tactical stuff, and green is like your health stuff. But there are some. It depends on you can. You can raise the attack or the power of each of them, and so if you get legendary ones, they pick whatever's your highest. So you keep getting these scroll upgrades where you can keep upgrading your one color of stuff. But like I had one where I had like 3 legendary weapons, and so they were all the highest, and then my other one was red. So I was just upgrading the red. So every single time I upgraded, I was upgrading all of my weapons, just getting like crazy powerful, like where you just take every person out with just one hit from your sword, and it's just like, oh baby, it just feels so good, so satisfying. This game is absolutely like one of the most satisfying games. And then the cool thing is, and it kind of hit me today. It has the really cool Metroidvania element to it, which because it says Roguevania, and it truly is a Roguevania because even though it's randomly generated, the maps, there are still parts of it that you need permanent upgrades to access. For instance, like to make a vine grow, which that's like you get that
after
early
the
on.
first
But
boss.
now you can reach different areas in the first area. So now you can in
go to the sewers,
rare,
the toxic sewers, right? I think is
the toxic sewers now. Yeah, so now you can go there instead. So it branches off. So it's fun that it even has that, even though you're not traversing through the same levels ever. Like you're never traversing through the same thing.
Yeah,
ever,
I think you might see a few set pieces that are similar, but it's never it's never
the same
carbon
thing. But I mean, I just mean on the same run. Like you're not running through the same halls all the time. You're just going straight through, and then they have these portals set up to where you just portal it to anywhere. So they do that really smart. In fact, that's what they should do with Metroid, which I think they did something like that. But the idea that you're not just going through the same tunnels over and over again. You're playing through, and then you morph back, and then it's bim bam boom, and you keep going through. But they still have that element of getting to new areas. Like for instance, there's floors you can slam through once you get a certain permanent upgrade, and then there's all kinds of stuff you can use. These transportation statue things. Anyway, there's lots of fun, and then that unlocks more better stuff, and then there's also you can get cursed, which I think is so cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You get cursed if you open up a cursed chest, or if you open up if you break one of the golden doors.
Oh, without paying.
And it's you break one of those golden doors without paying.
You'll be paying all right.
I just got one today, and you have to kill 30 enemies without getting hit once.
I did it once. I don't think it was 30. I think it was just 10. And I was like,
just 10 from the chest.
Boom!
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, exactly. But also satisfying when you.
Oh yeah, once you get the curse off, you're like, whoosh, you wipe your brow,
Yeah, and what's cool is I saw that one of the every you mentioned this a little last week, but every time you go through, every time you jump to level, you get to upgrade your equipment and refill your flask so you can refill your health, and but you also get these I forgot what they call. I don't even remember what they're called, but they're permanent upgrades, for your run. One of them is after every you'll gain 4 HP.
Oh, the necromancer one.
Just after every person you kill. But then one of them I saw that I unlocked from the scrolls that I unlocked. It was for one of those things, and it said that for every time a curse is lifted, every time you beat a curse, you get 10% health back. So I thought that was a cool idea. You're actually going for those curses to get more health,
It's not worth it, guys. Cool. The curses are mean.
Yeah, I would never say it's. I mean, I think the chests.
I feel like I never
are worth it.
I feel like I never get anything, 10. Or at least, I mean, granted, I haven't played in a week or so, but I feel like whenever I face the cursed items, it's never worth the lemon is not worth the squeeze.
You're a pervert, but they. Yeah, I mean, you get some good stuff. You can get some good weapons, or I just think even just the normal scroll upgrade to upgrade your stuff is the best thing you can get. You get more powerful. But yeah, I would never break a door, people. Never break a door.
Oh yeah,
because one of the golden doors, because it's either 25 or 30.
Well, I should speak. At least the doors I've run into, they're never that much money. But I guess probably later in the game they'll probably get expensive.
Changes.
But
yeah, it changes. But, oh my goodness, guys, I was so taken aback by Dead Cells. And this is coming from, I played Dead Cells with Nintendo at their, with our private little thing there at PAX. And I just didn't totally, I don't know what was going on.
There was a lot going on there in terms of in the game, but in terms of just everything going on, trying to get some video and trying to, juggle your time to play a bunch of different games. Well, so it made sense that you didn't get to really settle in and see what the game had to offer.
Well, to be honest, though, I mean, yeah, that's true. But the game wasn't the same. It literally started you, it was a different build, and it started you off at a different place, and it was harder. Anyway, it was just weird. I wasn't totally on board with it from playing it at PAX. I was like, okay, this looks cool, but, I'm not sold. So that's where I was when I picked up the game. But after listening to Nintendo voice chat and hearing other people be obsessed with it, I was like, I have to get it. I was just working on reviews and stuff. So I was like, I wanted to get it physical, and so I got it I got it physical. I'm so happy because it's one of my favorite Switch games. Like seriously, like definitely top 10 favorite, could be top 5. So I'm in love with the game. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping I hope I can beat it by next week. Probably won't be able to.
I don't think so.
It's a tough game.
I think it's supposed to be one of those games that takes forever.
When I'm putting in 8 hours a day.
I quit my job and I am a professional Dead Cells player.
Yeah. I just yeah.
I'm a professional Jimmy.
Yes, but I do love me some Italian food.
Do you?
Especially Italian desserts.
Do you love 2 desserts?
I do. I love when... Yeah, I got nothing else.
Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2. Arguably one of the worst titles ever. Maybe not ever.
I don't understand the title. So what is that? Is that a parody of
it
something?
Might be. I'm not sure. To me, like when I first heard the name, like it just gives like the vibe of like, oh, this seems like a Flash game on like Newgrounds. You know what I mean? Like, like oh, okay. But to my surprise, this game is really fun. It is a side-scrolling, like, I don't want to say shoot 'em up necessarily, but like I guess people sort of oh, now I'm blanking. Like Metal Slug, I think people sort of.
Yeah.
It's not like quite as bullet hell as a Metal Slug game.
Oh,
But
okay.
so it's like a twin stick shooter. So you're gonna control with your left stick, and you're gonna have full 360 aiming with your right stick. And what's nice is when you start off, and your main character Vinnie Cannoli is he's tied to a chair, and like they sort of give you the rundown of what happened in the first game. So like like the guy's like, oh, you don't know who this guy is, and then like oh well he's the.
Is there voice acting?
What's up?
Is there voice acting?
Yeah. He's the guy from the Thugtown incident. And they're like, you never heard of that? And then, like, they give you, like, the little spiel, you know what I mean?
It sounds like you back when you lived in Long Island.
Back in the day. So, I guess in the first game, there was this Thugtown, and there was zombies involved and stuff. But essentially, this game is, like, someone's after Vinnie Cannoli, And he's like, well, you know what? Instead of waiting for him to come get me, I'm gonna go get him, like who wants me, So you're trying to go find this guy who's after you, and it's just absolutely bonkers, this story. Now, when I saw the game, I'm like, okay, it actually looks pretty cool despite the title, It's like, I'm like, all right, this story's probably gonna be like whatever, like pretty, take the back seat, and the game looks like it could be fun, but I was surprised at how much the story actually entertained me. I think it's because it was just so over the top. And every once in a while, it's just like, what the like is okay? The game's going there, this is like I'm gonna it's gonna be like a 30-second thing. So if you don't want a little spoiler, it's not, you know what I mean. It's not a huge spoiler, but if you do, skip ahead 30 seconds.
Spoilers for Guns,
shut
Gore,
up.
and Cannoli 2.
So pretty much like...
I'm glad you're giving the warning. I really hope there's someone out there going, like, reaching for their iPod or their phone.
He like ripped his headphones out, like, no!
Yeah, they would have an iPod, by the
way. But, so you go into the one area, and then you find out, like, oh, like, the guy's in Europe. So the guy's like, jump in my plane, I got you, man. And all of a sudden, you're flying over the beaches of Normandy, and your plane gets shot down, and you land in a U-boat, and then you storm the beach of Normandy.
Oh my
so
goodness.
It's amazing. I'm like, oh my god, this game is bonkers.
That sounds awesome.
So throughout the whole game, you're going to be fighting mobsters, cops, and zombies. Zombies are sort of, it seems like they're not in a huge portion of the game as much as the rest, fighting other mobsters and stuff. Oh, and Germany, Germans and Nazis and stuff. So you fight all sorts of people.
Good old
But
Nazis.
what's cool is like when you're sort of going through an area where it's like, oh, I'm sort of in a mob boss or a mob building, so I'm fighting other mobsters. But then the cops kick the door down. But then the cops and the other mobsters will fight each other too, So it's not like they're all just gunning at you. So it's cool to see like, oh, okay, like it's like just everyone's killing each other.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was surprised at how how entertaining the story was, and but the game's actually really fun. So like I said, you got the 360 aiming, you've got a double jump, you got like a roll or a dodge out of the way. And you get a ton of guns, and the guns are all really fun to use. You got like a gun wheel, so it's easy to switch on the fly. And the way the game sort of works with ammo is they're very liberal with the ammo. So you're never going to be like out of ammo overall, but you'll blow through your ammo on one gun, and then it's like, all right, I'll just switch to another one. And then as you're killing people with that gun, you sort of reload, like pick up enough ammo to reload your other gun if you wanted to switch back. But there's a ton of guns, rocket launchers, flamethrowers, Tommy guns, machine guns, double pistols, grenade launcher, chainsaw, bat. Like there's all sorts of weapons, and they're all really fun to use.
Is this game super bloody?
It's gory, but or bloody, but like in the sense of, it's like it's pretty cartoony style. So it's not like
is it red blood?
Like you'll shoot heads off and stuff,
Like Metal Slug is like purple blood or something, so it doesn't look like too bad, but it's actually like super, super gory.
Yeah, no, this game, I mean, it's in the title, They're not messing around.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, I was actually really surprised. It's a fun little game. It like totally took me by surprise. It's not super duper long, but it's a good length, It's like a couple hours long. You can play online. I tried to do random.
You can play co-op online?
Yeah, there's co-op. Co-op local and co-op
cool.
online. I tried to do some random matches, and it took a while, and sometimes it didn't work. But then, like, once I actually got into a game, it worked very well with the other player. Like, there was no lag or anything. But then I tried again, like, the next day, and I couldn't find anyone to join. It seems like a better candidate if you have a friend or two that already have the game to connect, opposed to trying to rely on just finding a random person. But yeah, I mean, honestly, way more fun than I could have ever imagined. Like I said, the story is entertaining, albeit crazy. The gameplay is fun. I like the visuals, like when you're going through the cities and stuff. It's pretty cool. When you get into...
What makes you think that they should have just named it something else?
I really do think... Because even when I mentioned it last week to Johnny, he was like, there's a second one, Because it sounds like such a throwaway game. But it's really not.
Right.
If you want like a fun little game, like I said, it won't take too long, a couple hours. Yeah, man, definitely. And like I said, it's funny, you go into the mob building and like you'll hear like the radio, like the old time like mobster music, like that would be in like Goodfellas or The Godfather playing. It's self-aware and it's stupid and fun, and yeah, I like I said, I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, good.
So 1 for 2 on the eShop the other day.
It's a quick game,
Yeah, no, and then if you ever did pick it up, we could play some co-op.
Giddy up. But speaking of quick games, I made my own
your own
segue there.
Perryway? Your Periwinkle way?
Yep, my Perryway. I have been playing this wonderful little game called Kero Blaster.
From the maker of Cave Story, correct?
I don't know. It could be Kero.
I think it.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is from the guy that made Cave
Pixel,
Story,
right?
the Pixel. Yeah, something.
I think
like
that's what he goes by.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I remember seeing this game. I don't remember when it came out. Like,
pretty
I really
recently.
Don't know. I think this came out in like 2014 or something like that. But I remember when it came out, I was very interested. Like, this looks like a cool, fun game. I dig its visuals. It looks really old school, but it looks like kind of also modern. Like, like something that couldn't have been
like
on,
effects or something.
It looks like it plays nice, And they sent us a code, and I was super pumped to play it. And it turns out it's delightful. It's wonderful. It's very fun. It's awesome. So it's level. It's actually very similar.
Any more adjectives to throw its way?
It's wondrous.
It's stupendous.
It's delicious. I got nothing else.
I've exhausted my adjectives.
Yeah. It's exhausting. No, it's not exhausting. So it's very cave story-esque in the way that the characters are portrayed, the story, the text writing. It's kind of like cave story mini, kind of like that idea. But I think I like it better than Cave Story, and I'm serious. Like, I think I like the gameplay more, because instead of a Metroidvania, it's just level-based. And it's just kind of like going left to right, or going, it's just...
That actually sounds up my alley.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not like where you never know, like, not what to do, I mean, it just kind of plays like... Probably like kind of Guns and Gore and Cannoli too. I mean, it's just very, and it's also, or like the first half of The Messenger, where you're just going through levels and then there's a boss at the end. It's actually the exact same as that. But the cool thing is you get different weapons, and every level, there's I'm not going to say how many chapters there are, because I think everyone should play it. It's a short game. I think it's around like 3.5, 4 hours took me. I beat it one day. So
you know what though? Sometimes that's just the length you need. A game you can blow through in
it's
2
perfect.
sittings.
It was perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what I did. It was wonderful, very fun and enjoyable, satisfying combat on with the different weapons. You get different weapons, very like Cave Story. Different weapons do different things, right? You get there's a gun where it's just a normal laser gun, and then you get one that's just a really thick laser that covers a lot of area, but it's shorter distance, And then you get one that's like a bubble. It's like a bubble gun that very cool. It drops to the ground, so it hugs the ground when you shoot it. But then when you're in the water, it flies up and it hugs because it floats to the top. So you can use that different things.
Imagine there was a game that you got all sorts of cool new items throughout the game, but they all just did the same thing.
Yeah, that would
but
be fun.
This game sucks.
Yeah, I know. I won't say what the last one is, but every one of these, or maybe there's even more than that, but every one of them can be upgraded like at least twice, which is really fun. And then they're just kind of like bigger and better and badder than they were before. So you're collecting coins while you're going, and you can kind of decide if you want to upgrade your health or get new weapons, or get new upgrades. There's a live system where if you die, then you got to go to the beginning of the level. But and the levels are fairly big with checkpoints. Now the cool thing is like the mid bosses that you face. Once you beat them, you go through again. You don't have to play them again.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Which is really cool, I think. Yeah. Otherwise, it's pretty overwhelming, right? If you have to.
Yeah, it would just get frustrating,
The bosses are tough. They're tough, right? I mean, this game is pretty tough. I mean, it's not an easy, especially like the last boss. I mean, it's a very nice difficulty, because you can kind of like, if you don't win, you're gonna keep the coins that you have. And then when you go through it again, you're going to even collect more. So then by the time you get back to the boss again, you'll have upgraded yourself somehow. You know what I mean? So it's a really good system there that, like, if you do die, well, you just got to play through the level again. It's not too bad without the boss, and you already know what to do, and you've probably upgraded yourself. Okay, like you get to this boss and you'll have probably 200, 300 coins or whatever, 400, doesn't matter. But there's no shop to buy anything, so you're facing the boss with what you have, but then you're done. Then you get to upgrade yourself and then go through the level, and that makes a huge difference. It really does. And there's just a lot of humor with the cutscenes. It's funny. It's funny how similar it is to the mess. Like I'm just playing all these side-scrolling games with funny humor. Like even Dead Cells has some pretty funny humor.
Oh
too.
yeah.
But
what are these bodies of a pile of corpses?
Yeah, they look like me.
Oh.
Wait a second. Yeah. But yeah, with Kero Blaster, it's super cute, super fun, wacky, it's very Japanese humor, which I just absolutely love. If you like Cave Story, and if you like that, I mean, this is a lot different than, it's very much more arcadey and direct and straightforward than Cave Story, which I like better. I love Cave Story. Like, don't get me wrong, love Cave Story. Love the action. This game is fun. You even get a jetpack. It's awesome, which is the best feeling ever, right? That's
sounds like Johnny's kind of game.
Yep. It anytime where you get a jetpack or like a double jump, it just that is the best feeling, Oh man, Dead Cells, you can get a triple jump. Have you ever gotten that before?
No, not yet.
Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I would again all three of these games, Dead Cells, The Messenger, and Kero Blaster, I am in absolute heaven. Like, it's just the Switch, man. Are you kidding me?
She's wheeling and dealing right now. All these
games. Dude, there are just so many freaking good games out. I can't believe it. Like, I'm having so much fun playing. I've played so much, and both on my TV and handheld, it's just the best. So I was just talking with Jules and with Jill about this, just like, how cool is it that it works? Like, it has all the best features of the Wii U. Like the idea that you can play off screen, off TV, anytime. I mean, it's perfect. And it's so funny that there's so many amazing titles for the system.
There's too many
quality games. And it's just, we're living in a time where even the best of not the best, but I mean like the most insanely powered games, like Doom Eternal, that's going to be handheld, like portable. Like, that's just, and so it's like, even though it's underpowered, the concept is there, and people will work to get their game on the system, and it works, and it's done. So with that in mind, I do want to say on Kero Blaster, I found it weird that like when you play it handheld, it's kind of blurry. I don't know why. It's weird. I on the TV it's not blurry. It's like pixel perfect, but then when you do a handheld, it's kind of like when you buy a Neo Geo game and you don't have it in
That's so strange because I feel like normally, especially with the pixel graphics, it almost usually gets crisper when you bring it down to the handheld.
Yes, I know. I don't get why. It's not as bad as a Neo Geo game. Like, it's not as bad as like when you don't have it off, but it's like it's that same kind of effect. Like not whatever you call it, not scaled correctly. But and then with Dead Cells, I did want to say that like the game is by no means unplayable at all, but it can, like, the frame rate can get kind of iffy and weird at times. Something to where it can potentially get like annoying to look at, but I don't think it's never caused me anything in gameplay wise. And I'm saying that like with a game this is very important about your Twitch and like responses.
Yeah.
It's never affected me. So, and then the Messenger just runs and looks amazing, both handheld and on TV. So, for what it's worth. But yes, Kero Blaster, fantastic game. I highly recommend it if you want just a nice, sweet game to play through. It's not too little. Like, it's not like half an hour. I mean, this game is, it's a good 3-4 hours, and then you unlock even more stuff. Like, there's different modes and stuff. So, you can definitely get your money's worth totally. Like, even though I think it's $9.
It is $9.99, but it looks like you could pre-purchase it for $8.99, but this launches the day it comes out, so I don't know if that's just a pre-purchase deal.
Doesn't matter. It's totally worth $10. Totally worth $10. I tell you what,
it's like, Cave Story is one of those games that like I shouldn't have liked it as much as I did, but I really like that game. So I'm gonna have to
it's the aesthetic.
No, just everything about it.
I just mean like it's like the sum of its parts. Yeah. It's.
I'm gonna have to check this game out for sure, though. I do love.
You
cute
want
little
to.
froggy.
Yeah, he's adorable, and they do a lot of really fun, quirky, that weird Japanese like Earthbound justness like stuff. I just totally dig. It's my favorite part of like Japanese culture. Like when they kind of like
they ham it up.
No, it just kind of reminds me of like the Japanese take on like Western civilization. I don't know, like it. I love that. So, yeah, let's check out those games. Next week, I will be talking Flipping Death, which I've played. I would talk about it today, but we just don't have enough time. It is absolutely wacky and great. Everything I've ever thought it was. And then I also picked up the Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Is that what it is called?
I can't wait to hear about
Dude,
that.
It's on sale now for $8. It's $8 right now.
I can't wait to hear about that.
So really good deal. Yeah, I know. I've heard really a lot of stuff about it. So
yeah, I'll have some games to chat about next week.
And
too.
then also Morphe's Law. I'm playing that for review right now, which is out. And I do want to say that if you're on the fence, I don't know if I'd recommend it right now. But I feel bad. I feel bad saying that. Without being able to explain it. But I'll talk more next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some stuff to talk about next week too. I've got Bad North. I picked up. Or we got a code for, I should say. And I played a little bit of that, but I'll hold my judgment for more. I just got a code for Shio. Have you heard of that one? Shio, maybe SHIO. It's like a stylistic platformer game. It's a challenging platformer game in which you deep and in which. That's bad English on there. In which you deep and moving story by jumping from lantern to lantern. If you like challenge yourself, you will like Shiho as well. So a little broken English on there, but it looks really cool. And the platforming looks pretty cool. And then we got Monster Hunter Generations coming out next week as well.
Oh yeah, man. Look at you.
I want to have a busy weekend. Oh, I can't wait till the weekend, dude. I just want to sleep so bad.
Oh, I hear you, dude. I cannot believe you're already working. You moved to a brand new state, and then the next day from moving, you started your job.
Man's got to work. Got to let him work.
It's insane, dude. It's insane.
Got to let him work, Perry.
Just take a day off and sit down for a second. Yeah, let him work. Let him live.
I'll take a day off when I'm dead.
Well, we're gonna take. Yeah.
And then I'll get back to work.
That's a good work ethic. Yep. We're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll come back, and we're going to end the show with the eShop Roundup.
Alrighty, we are back, Perry, and you know what time it is.
I do?
The eShop Roundup.
Oh, right. Yes, it's the eShop Roundup time. And we're going to get straight into it, baby, with State of Mind for $39.99.
The premium.
When mind and machine become one, what will remain of humanity?
Nothing.
Ooh, this is a really cool-looking game.
An adventure game, not my favorite, but I do like the art style.
Yeah, very polygonal, stylistic polygonal kind of. Cool. Looks cool. Berlin, so it's a near future, 2048. The world is on the brink. Lack of resources. Anyway, looks cool. Check it out. Next up, though, we have the retro-style looking Roboto for $9.99.
Join Rob and Otto, two intrepid maintenance robots, as they travel through a malfunctioning spaceship in an effort to shut down all the rampaging machines. Actually, it's pretty cute.
It is cute. I feel like Justin was saying something about this, like it reminded him of a different game that wasn't as good.
$9.99. I do like Rob and Otto.
That's really funny. That's awesome. But
too good.
Next
up here we have
Dr. Johnny Metz on the podcast last week, and now we have Johnny Turbo. He's back with Nitro Ball.
$7.99. It looks cool. Look at that. Like, is that like Dracula or something? I don't know. This game looks like sort of all over the board, but in like a cool, interesting way.
But it's in Tate mode, and it looks really cool actually. Like it's really full screen on the Switch there. And yeah, Dracula's there. Dim.
Too scary for me. But you know what's not scary?
Red's
Kingdom.
Oh, Red's Kingdom. Sorry.
Get some nuts.
Casey.
That's
This
the
is a family
tagline.
show. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a cute looking game.
The art style is really nice.
Adorable. Yeah, it's this little isometric game. It's a
little puzzle.
Mad
puzzle
King
adventure.
Mac has always caused trouble for his subjects. Stealing Red's winter stash of acorns, his prized golden nut, and kidnapping his father.
Oh my goodness. He
Stealing nuts
he took the man's lunch and his dad.
Yeah. Well, it looks super cute.
I guess it's a squirrel. It looks like he's got sharp teeth for a squirrel, but I do.
Yeah.
Did you know squirrels are one of my favorite animals?
Did you know that I live in the home of the black squirrel?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait till you get to see one. You're gonna think it's the cutest thing ever.
You know it's sort of cute too.
Extreme poker.
Yes, sir. Now
For
a new
$4.99,
standard for
baby.
poker games for poker lovers.
A new standard, huh?
So this
This game looks as bare bones as you could think of.
yeah, but from classic to original, 5 games based on poker rules are included. So at least you got some variety there. It might not have the bells and whistles of a Super Blackjack Super Blackjack Battle 2 Turbo Edition, the Card Warriors.
Yeah.
But it looks like it might have a little bit, some more options for your play there. You know what's next, though?
Next up, we have Next Up Hero for $19.99.
Fight!
This,
Die!
yeah.
Win!
This is from someone that we've. I can't think of the other. Who?
This
no,
is
'cause
from...
they've made Inner Space. Oh no, it's just published by Aspyr. But who's developed it? It's a game that we know who's developed this before they did something else, but I can't think of what it is. Sorry. It's annoying
It says required items, internet connection.
Yeah, this is you can play co-op online with another person. Dungeon
Looks like
crawler.
local as well.
This was on that Nindy Spotlight thing or that Nindy Showcase thing. And I just can't remember who made it, but anyway, check out reviews for that one. I've heard some different things for it. So
Next up here we have Castle Storm for $14.99. This is a unique take on a medieval warfare in Zen Studios' light-hearted action strategy game. It sort of looks
Angry Birds.
like Angry Birds, but like you have you sort of each have like a kingdom on one side of the screen versus the other, and you sort of gotta take it out. But then it looks like you can get up close and personal with some ground units as well. So doesn't all look like far combat. Looks like it could be interesting, maybe.
Could be cool. I'm not a big fan of the UI, but that's okay because I am a big fan of Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, which is our Arcade Archive Neo Geo game of the week, baby.
Thank goodness.
Yes, I know. You gotta love our hamster toss, and we have, it appears to be Ash Ketchum with a blonde ponytail about to...
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
See, look at the other guy. The other guy has, like, long gray hair, but then brown. Like, he's like wearing a wig. He's wearing a wig, that guy. He has bell bottoms on.
He's living in the past.
Dude, good old fighting Neo Geo games. Do you see the one with, like, the guy with Kim Cap Fwan, who's about to kick the guy on the top of the head?
Where it almost looks like a blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or actually, it looks like a Sith.
Yeah, it does.
He's bringing death.
And look at the next one. That Chang S, that's me. That's me and you right there. Joe, that big fat guy.
Does that make me Joe?
Yeah, you're Joe H. Okay, let's move on.
Next up here we have Manuel Samuel.
Samuel for $9.99 from Curve. Good old
This
Curve.
looks like a good old-fashioned adventure game.
Hashtag fractured jawbone.
Well, he got
right.
hit with
Okay, so you have to use you're controlling every single part of Samuel's body. Like you have to like left arm, right arm, and you have to blink and you have to breathe in and breathe out. That's funny.
Looks like you
That
also
is
need to go to the
funny.
bathroom for him.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
$9.99 for this one.
Wow.
Now this next game here, keep talking and no one explodes. $14.99. We've got 10% off down to $13.49. That sale, however, ends the day this goes live. So
that's right.
You better make haste and get over to that eShop if you want it.
You can check over on NWR TV that our co-host here, Cassie Gibbons, he actually did a little
Let's
gameplay with David Lloyd about this, and David got to meet the developers of this. And funnily enough, a couple weeks ago, I played this game VR, and it's really fun and really great. So
yeah, it's definitely
very interesting.
Definitely a cool co-op game, and what's cool is you could play with someone who doesn't have the game very easily. So you would only need...
literally you just played over Skype without even seeing anything, right?
Yeah, I had the manual.
You don't even need another screen. See, because that's the thing that I was wondering, because in VR, you put the VR on and you're the one doing the bomb and everyone's looking at the TV. You know? So I was thinking this would be a great Wii U game. It would have been perfect on Wii U.
That would have been good. Yeah, I got like a PDF and went through it like that way.
Isn't that funny? Which is great. So it's kind of like a Jackbox, and the idea of you use a different, like a phone or something. But anyway, very interesting, cool game. But next up, we have a very crazy looking game, Persian Knights Sands of Wonders. And that guy looks just like you, Casey.
My eyes are very glowy.
Now, what is this? Is this a
$14.99, 10% off down to $13.49, and that sale actually runs through the 26th. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these look like concept art.
Yeah,
and not
no,
actual...
I think it's point and click. I think it is. You know what I mean? That's why I was thinking, because it's like, oh man, that looks really good, but yeah, it's just a... Anyway,
it's lies.
Save Persia from Mysterious Plague. Done it already in real life. Not gonna do it again.
Next up here we got Polygod for $14.99. Polygod is a rogue-like, randomly generated, single and multiplayer first-person shooter with a brutal difficulty curve.
All right, wow, the wacky, kind of.
It's funny that they
art style.
It almost sounds like they're using that as a selling point. Brutally tough to learn.
Yeah, I believe John Roden is doing he did the review. I believe.
Beats me.
But
I've been off the grid.
Yeah, I know. I think that's right. But next up we have Detective Gallo for $14.99 with a bunch of funny looking duck people. Look at this.
I do like all the different videos.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh my goodness. Wholesaler. Candy
What
Pop.
is this game?
Bop. Oh my goodness. Baby
You're a
Punk?
detective. It's a point and click comic noir adventure. So
man,
looks funny.
We got a lot of point and
super
clicks
cute
this week.
Yeah, we do. I'll point and click you.
You pervert. Next up here, we got Treadnoughts for $9.99. Acrobatic tanks take flight to fight. It's all about moving with style.
Treadnoughts. Very pretty game. I love the colors.
I'm pretty sure we have a review up on the site for that one
coming.
as well. Multiplayer fighting party action game.
No, it's not Treasure Knots.
Not yet.
Not yet. Treasure Knots is coming, though.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon.
Next up here, what do we got, Perry?
I accidentally clicked out of my thing, and I'm trying to find out where.
And now we're gonna wait for you.
Oh, okay. We have Spectrum, which is $11.99 for 20% off at $9.59.
And that runs through almost the end of the month, the 30th.
Where do you see that?
If you scroll down just a little bit, underneath.
There you go.
Notifications. Yep.
Boom. Yeah. So this is a stunning abstract world of pure Zen-focused platforming. Wow. Looks like you're this little drop of like something, and like you're just jumping through, and interesting. Looks like a platformer. So there you go. Now here's one of the 3 games that dropped on that
moving day for me.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was like,
ND
oh my
Direct
god.
Game. Yeah. This is a Prison Architect Nintendo Switch edition of a game I haven't really heard of. It's $29.99. It's pretty expensive. And I gotta say, I'm not super pumped about the art style. It's like a Flash game art style.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I think the majority is supposed to be more gameplay. Just like I don't know. I've heard things of this game.
It's like a sim, right? It has to be. It's like a sim.
Strategy action game. Yeah, so
yeah.
I don't know. Acting as both architect and governor, you control every detail of your prison, from building new cells and facilities to hiring staff and creating reform programs, all while dealing with informants, contraband smuggling, gang warfare, full-scale riots, and more.
Yeah.
So it sounds... This game, I feel like, could benefit from like a nice little demo, you know? Give me a taste and see if it grabs me, you know?
It also sounds like a game that someone like in real life would be paid lots of money to do, like in real life.
Yeah, they're actually watching everyone play. They're like, brilliant.
Yeah, they're gathering info. But anyway, it's probably very. I think there's even like, they mentioned in the indie showcase thing that there's like DLC coming and stuff like that. So, but. Anyway, next up, we have Bad North. And no, we're not talking about David Lloyd. We're talking about the Raw Fury published Bad North that I've been looking forward to for a long time, that I will be picking up very quickly, but this is the strategy game.
How much is that bad boy?
$14.99. I think I already said that, but that's okay.
No, you didn't.
Okay, I didn't. I thought I did.
Big Jimbert.
Jimbot.
Yes, this is... I've been playing it. Like I said, I'll get... a more detailed rundown next week, but really cool, simplistic art style. And it's just, you go from island to island, and you got your little troops, and you gotta fend off the Vikings that are attacking your town, and then you get gold for surviving from each building, and then you upgrade your units. I'm pretty early on, and I haven't gotten to the point where it's become like crazy hectic, so I'm looking forward to getting that point.
Mm-hmm.
But next up here, we have a game you mentioned a little bit earlier, and that is Morphy's Law for $19.99.
Yep, it finally happened. It finally came out. They talked about it, and it came out.
Yeah, this
and
was...
I've been playing it.
Yeah, shown off a while ago. Really cool-looking concept, and I am looking forward to hearing more about it from Perry next week.
Next week, I'll talk more about it, yep. So, if you want to hold off, you might want to hold off. Just saying. Now... Second to last, we have All-Star Fruit Racing for $39.99. It's like, who makes this? Like, who made this game? P-Cube?
And the worst thing is,
P-Cube?
It's like, they just don't show any gameplay. Like, give me some screens at least, you know? I mean, I guess they have a video here. I haven't watched it. I don't know. It just, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna be charging $39.99, show me some gameplay, you know? Some screens.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy, right? I don't know how they can do that. But anyway, it's a racing game. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably not as good as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Maybe. It's cheaper.
But, sometimes you just gotta think out of the box. Which reminds me of our next game here, Out of the Box, for $14.99.
Dive into a wild story of gangsters and criminals
really
in
willing
Out of a
to
Box.
help me with this? We're risking our necks. Sorry, don't count me in. What would I have to do exactly? Oh, those are the two options. So it's like a comic book.
Is this another point-and-click adventure?
It's probably, yeah.
The week
Adventure
of the point-and-click.
simulation. Yep. Kill it.
Gee willikers.
Yep, I guess it's that kind of a thing. It looks kind of wacky to me.
Wacky tobacco.
Wacky debacky. So we don't want your blood-stained money, Warren. And that's what we're going to leave it with. $14.99, and that concludes our eShop Roundup. What's your pick of the week, Case?
Woo, I closed it down, so you better tell me yours. Because I know which one I'm picking. I just need to find it.
Gotcha. I am going to pick for like a newly... my pick of the week would probably be Bad North. But since that's not really fair...
give us one. We like to pick games we didn't previously have knowledge about.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with this State of Mind. I'll go with State of Mind. The first game. The cool polygonal looking game.
I'm going with Red's Kingdom.
Oh yeah, okay.
That squirrely whirly game. That looks super cool.
It does look cool.
Should see if we need a review on the site for that.
Yeah, we should.
Now, I know we, like I said earlier, we're going to be taking it easy this week since last week we had like a big old monster episode and I am run down. But I do want to say, as far as YouTube Saloon goes, no, we will not have a challenge this week, but it will return next week. And as far as news talk, I just wanted to point out two quick little ones while we're here. Diablo 3 Eternal Edition has been announced, and it is coming to the Switch later this year.
It's huge.
Do we know an exact date for that?
We probably do, but I don't know.
Because, it would make sense around Halloween, to sort of go with that thing. But I think they might have just given us like a later this year kind of thing. What's cool is it will include the expansion pack as well as the Necromancer DLC. It will have Zelda-themed items called a chicken pet, just straight chicken pet, and Ganondorf armor set. And just when I was looking it up, it just crazy to think this game was released in 2012, because I remember I went to a Walmart and I was like, I'm getting the collector's edition because I love this thing, And I asked them, like, you guys got collector's editions? Like, yeah. I got there at like 8 o'clock. I waited like 4 hours, and like no one else showed up. Until like 11:55, And then all of a sudden, like, it's time to make the sale, and they're like, oh, we don't have any collector's editions. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
And you asked him.
I was so angry. But there was another Walmart across like town, so we zipped over there, and I was lucky enough to get one there. So it wasn't all for naught.
I would have been like, I demand that you call them and tell them that I am owed one.
Oh, I was so angry. But it's funny because at the time of like the sales, I guess they had like a couple, like you could answer a couple questions, and if you got it right, you'd get like, I don't remember, like some tchotchkes, like a lanyard or something. So I got the dry run at the first place. So at the second place, they asked the questions, and like, granted, I'm a pretty big Diablo fan, so I knew most of them anyway, but like, I think there was like one or two tricky ones, and I was just like, since I just heard the answer like 15 minutes ago, the guy's like, man, you really know your stuff. I'm like, give me that damn collector's edition.
Awesome.
And then, of course, Luigi's Mansion for 3DS got a release date October 12th in North America, and a week later, October 19th for Europe, and the 20th for Australia. But bust out those 3DSs for some Halloween fun.
Heck yeah. And then I got one more little bit of news, is that the Nintendo Switch Online service will enable voice chat when you play the NES games.
Ooh, alright.
So that's pretty cool. So when we're playing...
we could chit-chat.
We could probably just use Skype anyway. But, in fact, I know we will, because it uses the app, which is just the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it ain't good.
I'm telling you, Fortnite does it perfect. So I don't know why they can't just do what Fortnite. It's like, how come the people that are licensing your product can do stuff better than the person who makes the product? Like, that makes no sense.
It don't make no sense at all.
But that's okay. Not everything has to make sense, okay? Cassie?
Nope.
Let's just calm down.
Sure
okay?
don't.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode for the Dalmatian episode 101.
Except, I think we have to announce some winners before we go.
That's right. I was testing you.
Sure, Jimbot.
You failed. You always fail. So, I'm just kidding, Case. That was actually kind of mean.
You're mean.
Yeah. So, we have some winners for our contest. Right?
We sure do.
And as I'm pulling them up.
Well, I could take the first one here because I have it up.
Okay.
From our Reddit winner. And that is, now, of course, I have it here. All right, Chicken Villas was their name. And it goes, their comment happened to actually goes, hey, love that the contest ends on my 21st birthday, which just happened to be dumb luck. My proudest gaming achievement was probably getting Breath of the Wild to glitch in the final Beast Ganon fight. Saw someone do it on Reddit and wanted to try it out. Took like 20 minutes of trying, but finally glitched out the fight and had an awesome time running around the world killing things with my endless arrows and OP bow. My other proudest gaming achievement, beating the first 30 minutes of Dark Souls 2 in 4 hours. I suck at those types of games. And then he thank you for being so kind with this giveaway. So they
You're welcome, Chicken Bills.
He got Minute. The Minute code.
Yep, he got Minute. And we have at Mikey B Playin'.
Ooh, what's he playing now, Perry?
I don't know, because we gave him the he claimed the eShop $10 gift card, so I'll have to ask him.
He'll play whatever he wants.
Yes. Actually, I see him asking on his Twitter whether he should get Dead Cells, Iconoclast, or Salt and Sanctuary, and I'm saying Dead Cells. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you, Mikey. And I don't have what, dang it, I don't have what he said. I meant to say it. Do you want me to look for that real quick?
I mean, I can't
find it.
I would say if it would be like 2 seconds, but
no, it's not. The other winner we have is at M or EMM _ capital STH. And they wrote in and they got the Hollow Knight that was so graciously provided by Grills Von Sizzle, which he changed his name to like Von Siggity or something. He's changed it. I'm just gonna call him Alex.
He's messing with you now.
Yeah, he is. Grizzle. We'll always be Grizzle to us.
Old Grizzle Grazzle.
Thank you so much for doing that, Grizzle. It's the best.
Yes, of course.
Really
yeah.
is.
No,
You're
he goes above and beyond.
Really
He's
appreciate
a good fella.
No one has to do that.
No matter what Perry says about him behind his back.
Just think about what I say in to Casey, right to his face. I
big
say
Jimmy.
awful things. So just imagine what I say about Grizzle behind his back.
It ain't nice.
No, it actually is nice. I've never said anything bad about Grizzle.
I don't know. It's not what I remember.
Shut up. Shut up, Dale.
You're blowing my dang spot, you bastard. Oh, can't say that.
It's my favorite thing on King of the Hills because there's probably like 10 times where he goes, "Shut up, Dale." It's so funny.
Too good.
Oh man, I love King of the Hill. Did you know that?
I had a guess.
I had an inkling. But thank you so much for being a part of the giveaway. We're gonna hopefully do those once a month. So really soon they should. They're really fun. I love seeing the responses from people. We had some really truly awesome responses. So check out our thread there. I think we had a bunch of retweets, like 150 or something, like 100 at least, something like that. A bunch of retweets for that. But thank you again. Thank you, Casey, for joining me on our 101th episode.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I can't believe that we're here already. It's amazing.
Well, get used to it.
Okay. I'm used to it now. I'm definitely used to it. I have my groove. But if you'd excuse me, I'd like to get back to playing Dead Cells and The Messenger.
Yep, and I got things to do. But I'm probably just gonna go
I
to
gotta
bed.
put my bed together.
No, the bed. Oh, thank God, actually, because at my parents' house, like, it was slept on a twin, you know. So it's like,
Right.
tiny little bed. So it's nice to get back to the big old bed. It's just,
Oh yeah.
I need to get some
You have a
bookshelves
full
for all
or
my
queen?
games.
Or a king.
I ain't no king.
So queen?
I'm a full.
Full? Kind of full.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
nice thing
that's
about
more
these
than
games.
enough. We're at full. Can't live
All right, recording.
Samesies.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Bo, you said you were ready.
Well, I was ready to.
I quit.
I was ready to snap.
Well, we clapped. That wasn't
we
a snap at all.
I forgot that I had to move my stuff. Okay, I'm not perfect. Okay, can you just leave me alone?
Well, we already knew that.
Well. All right. Moving on. Gotta move my stupid guitar.
It's not a nice way to talk about your prized possessions.
You don't know what my prized possessions are, Gibbons. Actually, you kind of do, so. Okay, let's just not. There we go. I'm sitting. It's adjusting. I am reclined. My window is shut.
What
All
are
right.
you getting ready to take a nap?
Maybe I am.
You
if
big
you're
bird?
talking.
You big Berta?
Berta?
You big Jimmy Berta?
Jimmy Berta? Jimmy cracked Bert. He don't care.
He don't?
All right.
You about ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure you don't need another
Yeah.
10 minutes to get ready?
I think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 101. Yes! That'll get him to buckle it up. I made one wrong jump and it was like, dead.